Hello everyone, this is Talal and today we are going to talk about SAT scoring. Now SAT scoring has been a myth, from the time it has been transformed into digital SAT. We have nothing official from the college board, and that is why I thought of running a few tests on the college board blue book test, right, so that we can understand how this scoring works. Now again, this is not official and there has not been any statement from the college board particularly about the scoring algorithm and how it works, but by running these tests I can give you guys some idea about how the scoring works, so that when you guys go for the test you can keep all of this in your mind, and you can move on with the test, right? So the first condition that we made was the fact that we did all the questions on the first module correct, and I took the reading and writing section in particular for this. So in the first module of that test we did all the questions correct, and in the second module I only did one wrong. So guys, the condition is that I did all the rights in the first module and I did only one question wrong in the second module. Now because of that I got a score of 770. Now that means that one question wrong in the second module subtracted my score by 30 and got it to 770. And conversely, when we look at the second condition was that I only got one wrong in the first module and I on purpose got all the rights in the second module, right? Now when I got all the rights in the second module and I got one wrong in the first module, my score was still a 800. It was a perfect score. Now looking at these two conditions, what it tells us is that the scoring algorithm gives more weight to the questions in the harder module, right? So if we have a harder module and if we do questions correctly over there, we might get a little bit of more leverage, right? We know that if we do the first module well, we are going to have a harder second module, right? So the scoring weight of that module will also be a little higher. Now in order to check that this is not applicable on only a certain type of question, I repeated this and I got some other types of questions wrong, and the result was the same, right? And that was that I got around 30 points subtracted and it was 770 again when I got one of the questions wrong. Now these were the two tests to understand how it works when it goes for the easier module and the harder module. So if you get a couple of questions or one question wrong on the easier module, it might not cost you that much, but if you're doing questions wrong on the harder module, it will cost you a little more than that, right? So that is what the conclusion is that we can make. Now the second thing that I had in mind was the fact that when can we exactly get a harder module and when we'll get an easier module. So I kept on doing one question, a question wrong in every easier module to just see when are we going to get that easier module in the second part. So after till I did 10 questions wrong, I got a harder module, but as soon as I went with the 11th wrong, there was an easier module. I got an easier second module, right? So what I concluded was that if I get around, I have a leverage of around 10 questions in the first module, right? So if I get 10 questions wrong, I can still get a harder module. I can still get a harder second module, right? But more than 10 questions would get me an easier module. Now how is this important? When I got to the scoring part, right, getting an easier module, after getting an easier module, I did all the rights in the easier second module, right? And even after doing all rights in the easier second module, the score that I got was 560, right? Now that was a big jump from 800. So a conclusion from all of this that we can make out is that if we need a higher score, it is definite for us to get the first module right. We have to score on the first module. If we don't get the first module right, even if we get all the questions right on the second easier module, we are not going above 600, right? So guys, you have to understand a couple of things from over here. The first thing is that you have to get at least you should not get more than 10 wrongs in the first in the first module. That is the first thing that you need to understand, because if you do that, you will get an easier second module, and if you get an easier second module, you will not get a score of above 600. It would be very difficult for you. At least this is what we get from the testing part. Now this scoring algorithm may differ, but this is something that we do get. And when you get a harder module, try to get the maximum number of rights on the harder module, right? So this is what we get from it. Again, there is nothing final, there is nothing official from College Board, but again, you guys can try this out as well, and the goal should be to perform well on the first module. That is goal number 1, and the goal number 2 should be that you practice hard and you expect a harder module, and you get the maximum number of rights on that harder module to get that score of 750 or more. Thank you so much. This was all about the scoring. We'll try to make some other videos as well to understand the scoring of SAT, digital SAT better. If you have any questions about it, you can definitely leave them in the comment section, and we can definitely try to talk them out, and we'll try to answer your questions as well. So thank you so much. This was all about SAT scoring.